Hi. I hope I am in focus. I know I say this every fucking video, but like, I don't have the best camera, okay? Anyways, welcome back to my channel. Sorry, I have 5 dogs, so if like there's noise, there's noise. Like, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm so sorry. Anyways, today I wanted to do like a little sit down video, and I asked on my social media, aka Instagram, I asked for people to ask questions relating mental health. If you didn't know, clearly from what I've been posting, mental health is a really important topic to me. Now, with that said, I just want to include a little disclaimer. I by no means am an expert on this. I just enjoy making these videos because I want to generate a discussion regarding mental health. I feel like being vulnerable is very important for people out there who don't have anyone to talk to. And also, it's just, a way of taking the stigma away from the taboo of it, so that's why I wanted to do this video mostly. I asked for people to send me questions. I selected a few because I feel like they're most important. If you feel like you need to talk to someone, I will be leaving some resources down in the description box. So with that being said, I will begin with the video and the questions. By the way, I'm gonna do some more Q&As, so if you want to follow me on Instagram and you want to ask me anything, or you just want to talk, my Instagram is yesiguess.mp3. So this is what I posted. I'll actually put it on the screen. I'm filming Q&A related to mental health. I know it's a difficult topic, but I feel like vulnerability can be very useful if we want to generate a conversation and end the stigma. I also have a following in Spanish, which is why I translate some of my stories in Spanish, but I will be talking about these topics in English for the sake of my channel and this video. So if you don't know English, I'm so sorry. I'll try my best to add subtitles to the video, but yes, if you have any questions in Spanish, I do know Spanish, so feel free to Spanish that shit up, okay? I think all of the boxes, or maybe, yeah, most of the boxes are in Spanish, so I'm just gonna read them out in English, but no. First one says, anxiety and depression. Boy, do I know about that topic. So I want to talk a little bit of my experience. Not gonna talk too much. I just want to make sure that you understand where I'm coming from, but I have lived with anxiety and depression, mostly anxiety for most of my life. And to tell you the truth, after therapy, like, I learned to use the tools that were given to me in a way that it almost, I don't want to say cured my anxiety, but it helped me so much it didn't bother me on a daily basis like it used to. And this is coming from my experience. It might not be the same for you. First thing I want to say is I recommend that if you're going through something, please seek help from a professional if you can. There are also free resources out there on the internet, just saying. Anyways, I have dealt with anxiety. For years, I had really awful anxiety, panic attacks, and I didn't deal with it. And I think the first step on getting better with anxiety or depression is acknowledging that you have a problem and taking a step to do something to get better, Therapy might be a good option. Like I said, went to therapy. I got the tools. A lot of them were breathing techniques that I forced myself to do it. It's hard to go to therapy because it's like school. You don't want to do it, but it actually works if you are a little bit constant with it. A lot of anxiety is blowing everything out of proportion and being very catastrophic. A way that helped me personally was to remind myself that I was not in danger, and I just tried to put myself, ground myself as much as I could. And the more I did that, the longer I did that, the more I trained my brain to that be its first response, to question the thought before going into full panic mode. And so yeah, that has helped me a lot. I do get anxiety because anxiety is sometimes a feeling and you can physically feel it. And yeah, I do get it, but it doesn't last as long. I used to have anxiety for months with the chest pains and everything, and now it's just, I have it, but it doesn't affect me on a daily basis. Now, depression, that's tricky. I used to have depression when I was a teenager, and then I just, didn't have it. And now that I went through my anxiety phase, I feel like I kinda went back to the depression phase. For a long time, I used depersonalization as a coping mechanism, and that didn't allow me to feel anything other than like panic and anxiety. So now that the anxiety is over with, my theory is that I went to depression mode, and I try not to look at it as a bad thing because for a long time I didn't allow myself to feel anything. So now I like, depression is very different and it varies from person to person, and it has different symptoms. But for me personally, it was about being very tired, not having motivation to do anything, you know, really negative thoughts. Overall, just numbness, not wanting to do anything, not seeing a purpose in anything. You know, the way I'm currently dealing with this is I'm going back to therapy. So the first thing that I did was actually realize that, you know, this has actually affected my daily life. I need to do something. I can't be in bed all day. I'm going back to therapy. I took the decision. I scheduled the appointment, and I already feel like a weight has lifted off my shoulders. I want to say that sometimes therapy isn't an option for everybody, and you know, that might be because of a lot of reasons. It wasn't at times for me, but if you have someone to talk to that you can trust, that helps a lot. And if you don't, you can record yourself talking about your feelings. You can write your feelings down. I always say it's better to have it somewhere else other than in your brain, because then that becomes anxiety or becomes something else. Not always, but you know, it's just better to lift it off of you, and it'll clear your head, maybe make you realize that it's not as like horrible as you thought, or maybe there's a solution for your problem. So I always say try to get it out somehow. And yeah, that's all I have to say on anxiety and depression. Okay, the next question is also kind of related. It says how to treat anxiety on a long and short term, and how to help others with anxiety. I kind of love and hate this question. I used to be really bad at helping people with anxiety. I used to be really good and then really bad, and now I'm trying to be good again because I want to be of help to other people. And sometimes you're like with someone and you don't know what to do, and that's happened to me before. I would say just try to validate their feelings, you know? Don't try to fix the problem, because if they trust me, they've thought of everything. Sometimes anxiety is just like, mental illness is just like that. Like, there's nothing you can do, and it's not your responsibility to fix anyone. But you can be there for people just by listening. Like I said, that's one of the coping mechanisms. Just have someone to talk to. Be that person that listens. Validate their emotions. Validate their experiences. You know, if someone tells you, "This happened to me and I'm sad," just acknowledge the fact that what they're going through, yeah, it's sad, you know, and that's that, you know. Try to just be a person, connect, communicate. And sometimes people don't want to talk, and you know, I've had friends that cried and come to me and don't say a word, but I just hug them, and you know, that's it. That's all they needed. Like I said, you don't need to fix anyone's problems, you just need to be there for people. And that's the best advice I can give you so far of what I've learned from my own experience. Okay, next question. What do you think is the problem? Seeking for help too late, or thinking that you can handle things on yourself? Well, I think the problem, I mean, it's better to seek help late than not at all. So I think that the problem mostly is trying to handle things yourself. That can be a burden. You know, you're not a professional and you're not perfect. I feel like most of the time we think that we don't need help because we're not at our like end point where we're like full on panic attacks and anxiety all the time and depressed, when we really should be seeking for help way before that. Like, as soon as a problem arises and you see something's not right within you, that's when you go to therapy. And even if you don't have any problems and you just feel like you need to talk to someone, therapy is for everyone, guys. Everyone can go to therapy. I've had a lot of friends that felt guilt because like they feel privileged or like they don't deserve therapy. Everyone, and I cannot express this enough, everyone deserves and should go to therapy if they want to or if they feel like they need to. I want you guys to remember that we are just one person. Everyone went through a fucking pandemic. Everyone's still going through a pandemic. Everyone has had tough times even before the pandemic. We cannot handle all of that. We shouldn't have to, even if we can, even if we could. We shouldn't have to. We're only one person. Don't feel like just because, you know, other people have it worse or I can do this myself, that you should do it. because maybe it's just easier on you and on everyone else that you get help. Next question. The difficulties of opening up the mental health discussion to Latin families that see it as taboo. Oh man, okay, so this happens everywhere. It's still a taboo everywhere. First, I want to say that you don't have to educate anyone on anything. It's not your responsibility. If you want to, and if you think that you can, do it, of course. Enlighten people, educate people, that is our responsibility, if we can. I say that because sometimes you're not capable of it, you're not emotionally strong enough to do it, and that's valid, that's fine, that's why I'm saying that. So with that being said, if you feel like you can, talk to them about it anyways, you know? I feel like for me, the best thing I could have done is talk openly about how I feel and be very vulnerable. And that's the only thing that has helped me and my family be more like trusting of one another. Obviously try to do it with good communication. From what I've seen, a lot of people from past generations, especially in our Latin community, they acknowledge that there are mental health issues, but it's hard for them to talk about it because they never had that safe space. So creating that safe space could actually help you guys talk about it more often. Anyways, that's my advice. I hope that helps. I'm gonna do one more question, and this one's in English. This one's the only one in English. But it says, the pressure of acting perfect, like your own personal pressure. So I talked a little bit about this at the beginning, but I just want you to think about it like this. Putting pressure on yourself is not gonna make you a better person because it's coming from a place of judgment. I want to explain this as best as I can. You should strive to be better because you want to grow as a person and you want to learn and you want to be better for and with others. Okay, so that's all I'm gonna do for today. I felt like just sitting down and talking to you guys would be better for today. I have been doing a lot of vloggy type style videos, but I don't know, felt like this topic was important to talk about. As I said, I will be leaving resources down in the description box if you guys have any questions as always, or if you want to talk. Thank you guys so much for listening to me. I will be seeing you back next Monday. Yay! We have a schedule already. Bye!